We had a change of phone batteries, phones, video devices. Start again. We've been having trouble in relation to phone signal, so we've gone from forgot Optus to Telstra network. I was using Telstra straight up, but they're too expensive and there's not enough data. So I've gone to Boost because it is in the same network using the same coverage areas. It doesn't detract from the fact that it has the same amount of signal as the Telstra. So it's much cheaper and we get better data deal on it. But when we get out of towns, the little regional areas, we have very low or no signal. Well, this little puppy we've got on board here, we've been waiting eagerly for, is our
unboxing,
hopefully saviour. So, yes, well, it's a Cel-Fi Go now that Lisa's gone and told you so. And yeah, anyway, there's only a 6 decibel antenna, the unit, and what else have we got? This is what's come in total, sent to the post office. Woohoo! So that's power cord. So it runs on 12 volt power, easy fix. So it runs on 12 volt power, and this thing would obviously go to the unit 2 times. Haven't got to it, haven't even seen it yet. Power cord, yay. Internal antenna. Alright. And the alcohol cleaning prep, skin alcohol cleaning prep. So if you want to stick the antenna to your face or something, yeah, so that's the internal antenna. So that's, I believe, what's boosting our signal inside. Clearly that's the external antenna, which I need to go and get a swivel mount to put that on the outside of the van, because we're actually going to put it on the van, not the car. I know a lot of people put them on the car, but we will be spending more time and internet usage in or just near the van. So ultimately the external antenna will be able to pivot down and up, so when we're travelling it will be down. Of course when we're parked in the station it will be up. And as to what I can find mount wise will be interesting. The best thing I've found looking on the internet is basically a boat antenna mount. They're generally a drop down swivel type mount with a latch of some description. So I'll find one of them around somewhere. And then this is the main unit, Cel-Fi Go, network specific, Telstra network. If you got Optus, you'll go Optus. The reason I went Telstra, didn't stay with Optus, is because where we're going to end up has no Optus coverage whatsoever. It only has Telstra on the towers. And we'll be spending time 12-14 kilometres out of the town. It has coverage, 3G coverage area out there, but it will definitely need the signal booster to help it along. So, more boxes, more writing, more instructions, warranty cards. I'll read through them oddly enough later. You must register your smart signal repeater. Interesting. Installation for a house, installation for a vehicle. So it's funny they show like normally trucks and cars with all the installation guides for these. They don't show caravans, but I suppose there's more trucks and cars would use them than caravans. Anyway, so that's all that. Some quiet reading time. And the actual sexy unit itself. Ooh, look at that.
What's that?
Screws and clips. So, there we go. Yeah, external antenna this side. Just curious on.
Let's get started.
That's the unit. Very exciting. So now I have to do some reading to look up on the setup and work out where best to install it. Now I've got it and I can see the size.
You know?
Pretty sexy unit. Alright, I'm up in here. We'll get mounted. Pretty much up here. it gives us the best because our external antenna will go on the rear back left corner of the van. The internal antenna at this point, I'm not actually going to mount it anywhere because it's got about 3 metre cable on it, and we just want to feel out the signal and see what's going to be the best location for us. And if we're sitting stationary for a long time, better signal outside the van than inside the van. So for the minute I'll just hook everything up and then we'll get on and register it, so it's registered device. So external antenna this end. The external antenna at the moment is out the window, it's just there.
Yep, here.
It's a
Antenna.
it's a 6 dB antenna.
There,
It's
outside.
just sort of
It's
it's just hanging there, but you know, it'll make a difference. And my phone inside the van
Telstra signal.
on Telstra on the boost signal at the moment is, we're sitting on, we're not full bars, there's 4 bars at the moment, one less there, so so we'll see if that makes any improvement on that. What's it doing here? We've turned it on, we've got the app, and it basically with the instruction also it says if you've got the earth, you put the earth on before you go and fire your power up. So I haven't fired the power up yet, and that's about to happen now. There we go, power's on down here. So now what it's going to do is search the network. I reckon that can take quite a few minutes, 5 to 7 minutes or something for the network. So this one will be blinking red apparently when it finds the full network, so let it go. And look at that, it's blinking red. So what I'll do now,
Have to register.
have to register, correct. Wave app. Open the Wave app. Searching for device. Alright, okay, registration. Well, we'll come back in a minute. I'll fill all the registration form out and then we'll go from there.
Okay.
So we'll be back.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the registration goes through and then it reauthorises to the device. The device light changes to green on here. And then basically it's come up with a booster update available. So what we'll do, we might as well do an update while we've got decent net, but it can take up to 20 minutes, so we'll do it anyway, so it's getting done. That way it's got the latest firmware or software. So yeah, the registration is basically your name and address and your phone number. Really, there's nothing to it. It takes ultimately a minute. So I wasn't sure how extensive it was going to be, but that's it. So maybe we'll let this update and then we'll do jump back in. So yeah, the total update, it flicks back and forth. It had 2 different sections and it gets to 98, 100% on both, and then it installs. The whole thing took about 4 or 5 minutes. So operator software has been updated, okie dokie, and that's it. We got booster name. Ooh, we can give your device a name. Oh, okay. Let's rename our device. What should we call it? Antenna position test. Rightio. So we can change the position of the antennas. Band settings. We're on mobile. 3G.
Use 4G.
Well, the thing is a lot of the country locations don't have 4G. And on here, so we've done step 6 and then we're back into this. So basically they're stating put it on auto.
Auto.
Yep. So let the device updating.
Okay.
So yeah, because we were on here and we're also set as a mobile device, so you can set this as a stationary or mobile, but I suppose mode you could take, if we were stationary mode, hypothetically, I suppose if we were sitting for a month, you'd go to stationary mode, wouldn't you? So anyway, mobile and channel settings. that would be something we don't want to mess with. There you go. So that's that. Indicator. So when it's on blue, there you go, it's auto detected, it's on 4G. Oh, it's on auto, sorry. Auto.
It's green.
And green is boosting 4G LTE. There you go. So it's actually found the 4G instead of being on 3G. Well, green, see it's jumping between 3 and 4G. Look, gone yellow to green.
Yeah.
See,
Signal.
our signal is the same. Excellent. So we're going to put this little puppy in. There we go, she's tight. Alright, little earth cable. It just gives a bit more ventilation off the wall, that's all. At the moment, I can't find a mount. And then she'll plug into here. And it's going to sit up here for a bit now because I need to get an external mount. Actually, that fits quite well. Look at that. Just like I bought one. I have a double adapter to go in here, and the
Internal
antenna at this point will basically just stay in the cupboard here. It won't be drilled through and mounted and all that just yet. Like I say, until we sort of really establish where the best location for it's going to be and all that sort of gig. For now, it will just sit up in here with everything else. And I need to get a mount for the big external antenna. So until that happens, and I'll sort of really then decide.
Mahal, you played that.
I played the microwave. I've turned the microwave on my knee. Alright, so ultimately the internal antenna is sitting here inside the cupboard for now, but the unit's not going to be turned on until I get that mounting for the external antenna. Because basically I want one of the mounts very similar, I suppose, to a marine mount, where you can literally drop the antenna down and bring it back up. Because when we're travelling, we don't want the antenna sticking up 3 foot wide in the van or whatever. So wait until I get the marine guy on the phone and see if he's got one. Or we're going to order one in, and I don't know how long that will take. And a couple of people in town said we've got another week of mask wearing and restrictions because of the COVID thing 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago. So the border's not going to open anytime soon. So I'm now going to deliberate as to what to do next. Whether we order one online, get it delivered, or we just hang off. I really want one to go across the nullarbor. I want the antenna. At the end of the day, if we want, we can plug the antenna in. And I was thinking of getting a rhubarb mount, but it would be mounted off the back bumper bar, so it wouldn't be as high, but it's still a high gain antenna outside, and it's going to give us much better reception than what we've already got. But I would do that and just put the cable through the window and bolt it in. I won't hardwire it out. So that's sort of what I'm thinking right now, which means I've got to go back to the auto store. Just a cheapy little mount. I wouldn't buy one of these to put on the permanent fixture. So external antennas outside, going between green and yellow. There's the indoor antenna just sitting there for the time being. The external one, Lisa will show you hanging on the back of the...
It's outside already.
Yeah. Well, go for it. Show everyone what you done to the antenna, baby.
Here, the antenna. is okay. Go through to the way.
Dodgy Brothers 101.
We just use the pole for extension for the signal
We'll try it out,
external.
because we're just not getting the signal we need. What we can do is
It's not look straight.
probably not. Right, yeah.
Extension. Adjustable. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's it. This is dodgy as it gets.
Fine signal, my love.
Huh?
Fine signal. A better signal.
Right, this is just a test. Alright, it's not a permanent thing. We see how this affects the internal signal. Oh, here we are. So I've jumped into the booster. Got into the settings. Before we had it sitting on, it was on 3G. So what happens is on the dashboard here, you'll see this change. Right, so at the moment it's 3G connected. Telling me the signal quality is 0. Right, so this is why I've got really nothing. Oh, there we go, signal quality. So what I've got here is a little bit of 4G, because my phone's hunting the 4G, not the 3. So what I've done is I changed this band settings, and if I go to 4G and go back and watch, there we go, it's kicked in. Now I have full bars up the top.
Yeah.
Yep. With 4G
4G
network. So if I go, yep, we're in the COVID-19 lockdown. We're waiting for that to all finish. So if I go here, we'll have a look at the there you go, it's working.
It's working.
So we've got the antenna high enough off the ground to grab the signal. Cool.
Where's the volume? That
But today, I'm Grandpa Errol. Okay, cool. Awesome.
much better.
Cool.
Look. This is Grandpa.
Ah, yeah.
This is motocross star.
Oh, look. It looks different now. Grandpa, what's that? Grandpa old man?
Let's go, kiddo. I'm gonna kick your ass.
What's the matter?
It works. Yeah, I do.
Yay! Mahal, come on!
Yeah.
Yay!
What I'm going to
Up
try
here.
to do, you're all happy.
Happy
Okay, what I'm going to
days.
try to do is hook this thing up instead. So rather than rely on our phones for our van, we'll have Wi-Fi in the van, which will be on this one. Yeah, pause that. We'll have Wi-Fi in the van from this doohickey.
Just for temporary or
No, we'll this will be permanently hooked up in here somewhere, and
for
so
that?
when we come in, our wireless networks will pick this up and run the data off of this rather than run the data off of the phones. Because also when we're outside the van, we'll pick the network up more than we'll pick the data up because the data are in there. Do you know what I'm saying? So this will do okay for that.
That's it.
Yeah. Happy days.